It's been quite a week, hasn't it? When you think about it, it's really been a surreal 9 months. And maybe even as you're listening to this, there's somebody thinking, the year 2020 can't end soon enough. And yet, this is where we find ourselves on November the 6th. Now, the truth is, I am recording this video on Thursday, the day before the 6th. And the votes are still being counted. So there is still uncertainty and the waiting continues. But I believe that even after the votes are completely counted, there will still be a lot of days of waiting and uncertainty ahead of us. So maybe today, you, like me, you need a distraction. Just a moment to step away from it all. It's overwhelming. It can be fatiguing. And you just need a moment to just step away from it all and just relax and rest for a bit. So in that spirit, I would like to tell you that today, November the 6th, is National Nacho Day. Yes, National Nacho Day. Maybe that might be your dinner for tonight in honor of this national day. Now here's a fun fact. Nachos were invented in 1943 by a Mexican whose name was Ignacio. We would translate that as Ignatius. So that's where the nachos part comes from. So I'm reading about National Nacho Day, and my eye goes down the screen to see that there is another national day as well on November the 6th. Today, November 6th, is also Marooned Without a Compass Day. Yep, Marooned Without a Compass Day. I thought I'd put that up as my picture today. It's believed that the compass was invented by the Chinese 300 years before the Christian era. So as I'm reading about National Marooned Without a Compass Day, I read the site that said in part this: how is your sense of direction? How often do you find yourself going around in circles? Do you feel hopelessly lost? Do you know where you are? If any of these questions describe your current state of being, then you are in tune with National Marooned Without a Compass Day. Well, that brings me to today's gospel, and I know you might be wondering, what's his point here? I do have one. Today in the gospel, we hear the parable of the dishonest steward. This parable is found only in Luke's gospel. And you may remember the story that the steward has been put in charge of the master's property and all the different business dealings, and he's been cheating people. He's been charging more than what they owed the master so that he could take, some for himself. And all of a sudden, this deception is found out. And his well-ordered life is about to come to an end. And many people in the community either know that he's been doing this or they suspect he's been doing it. So the truth is there will be nobody to turn to get support, no one who's going to help him or understand him. There will be no shoulder to cry on. He is a lost man. He has come to his Marooned Without a Compass Day because all the usual ways of getting through the day, of circumventing and navigating his way through the problems and challenges, they're gone. It's no longer business as usual. The reality is, we have a lot more in common with the dishonest steward than we probably realize. Not because we're dishonest or we're cheating people out of anything, but over the last months, maybe we have felt like we've had more than one day of being marooned without a compass. All the usual ways of getting through a day, of dealing with people, of navigating our way through challenges. A lot of that has changed. A lot of that has shifted. And maybe some of them are not even present to us anymore, these ways of dealing with life. Maybe some are gone forever. But that's when the rest of the parable comes in, because there's more to the parable. It ends with Jesus praising the dishonest steward, because this guy without a compass took a moment and stepped back, and he realizes, I've got to find a way to get salvation here. I've got to find a way creatively to find freedom. And so what he does is he just goes to each one of the people who owe the master money and just say, pay what you actually owe the master. And I'm not going to take any of the extra money for myself. So they were free and happy to give only the smaller amount that the master owed. And he becomes, in the master's eye, a kind of hero. What Jesus is saying in this moment is that an essential quality of a disciple is to step back. The ability to step back and to think, how am I working with God's grace to achieve my own salvation? I can't do it by myself. It's only God's gift. But how am I creatively stepping back and with the power of God's grace, making the choices? And sometimes they have to be radically creative ways of freeing myself from anxiety and fear and worry. Back to the website that described National Marooned Without a Compass Day, it said this: being marooned without a compass for a day could be a good thing. Our busy lifestyles seldom leave time to relax. Today we can just kick back and enjoy being marooned. Tomorrow we can head east when the sun rises. No matter what the news of today will be, or the news tomorrow, or the news in the weeks ahead, we may perceive, both globally, nationally, personally, the way is still not clear. And maybe the way will not be clear for quite a while. But today's parable reminds us that Jesus will always be the compass, who will help us find the way. But first, we have to allow ourselves maybe to be marooned once in a while, to just step back and to think, what do I creatively have to do in order to find energy, to find a sense of rest and peace, a respite from all the cares and anxieties? And maybe that's looking at new ways of praying, new ways of being quiet with God. Maybe it involves going to daily mass, praying the rosary, or perhaps watching a video that really brings you rest and relaxation, takes you away, so you're spending time with God, so that you're energized to get back into the world. The truth is, we need to be more creative, we need to think differently, and we need to find the moments of being marooned as a time to be in the presence of Jesus. The truth is this: the sun will rise tomorrow. It will rise in the east as it does every single day. But even more, the truth is this: it is in staying close to Jesus, who is the true compass, that we will always find our way.